Well, let's go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. Eagle Mortgage is in the mortgage business, as the name would indicate. And so they help you get those home loans. And it doesn't matter whether you're going to go conventional loan or if you're going to do like FHA, VA. They even have a couple other ones that they do. The main thing is use them because they do such a great job. As a mortgage broker, they shop the market. They don't have to be, they're not tied in or beholden to one bank, so they can get the best deal for you. And they're very customer oriented, so you can sit down with one of their mortgage brokers, figure out what's right for you. They communicate with you. They help you through the whole process and just do a good job of it. You can find them in person at the Eagle Mortgage office, 114th and Davenport, or online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. Well, there were a couple big stories this week, Trenton, but we're going to start with Civic Square. This is the Civic Auditorium site downtown, bordered by 17th, 19th Street, Chicago Street, Capitol Avenue. A couple of years ago, it was announced...
9-acre site.
Thank you. A couple of years ago, it was announced that White Lotus would be the developer. And then we've been waiting a little bit about details. And those details, or at least some of them, were released this week. Looks like it's going to be about a $2 million project on 4 city blocks. As you said, that equates to 9 acres.
$2 million?
200?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I say 2?
2 million.
Yeah. $200 million. Same thing, just a couple of zeros. And... so believe it or not, this is hard to believe. The Civic Auditorium was fully demolished in 2017. So for 6 years.
I would guess longer.
Oh, really? That's a long time. 6 years, that's just been a grassy wasteland of nothing in downtown. So this is a really ambitious plan. 200 housing units, grocery store, fitness club, restaurant and retail space, offices. One of the cool things about it is it would reintroduce 18th Street and part of Davenport Street, so you get a little bit more of that city grid that has been missing on that super block site there. Looks like a lot of 5-story buildings with apartments, although on the northeast corner of the project, it looks like a bunch of what appear to be multi-level townhomes would be present, but good mixed-use project. It's ambitious. I think the big question that I have when I review the project, Trenton Maggot, is the grocery store. They say they want to put a grocery store, but they never said the name of a grocery store. They never said if they are negotiating with a grocery store.
Well, so since we started this show about 1,000 episodes ago, we're on our 20th year on the show, and from the beginning, we've talked about, we'll know that we have made a difference, and we're not going to take all the credit, just most of it, that we've been talking about a grocery store coming to downtown Omaha, that we'll know that Omaha has made it when we get a 40 or 50,000 square foot at least grocery store. A typical Hy-Vee now is probably 75 to 100,000 square feet. It's not downtown yet, but it's where you can get everything, and it's not just Cubbies or Patrick's in the time, where you have decent prices and you don't have to go to Council Bluffs or what would be the one west on? I
know some people go to that Hy-Vee at Saddle Creek and Center. There's Nuestra Familia at 29th and St. Mary's. You got to go a little ways out to get groceries.
So I think it'd be cool. I mean, obviously people would love a Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or something like that. But if they can pull it off, and if it looks anything like those beautiful renderings, White Lotus, led by our friend Arun Agrawal, is perfectly capable. They have plenty of experience. They've got a great relationship with the city. They understand development, and it's not an easy site. So you need somebody that has ties to the community, and I think that there'll be a medical aspect to it, I would guess, maybe a hotel and convenience, and it is a great location, and they spell it out on their website. And great access off I-480.
My guess is any urban grocery store in Omaha is probably going to be in that 20 to 30,000 square foot range. It could still be full service at that range. You know what I think would be the perfect, absolute, ideal urban grocery store downtown?
Aldi.
Fairway.
Yeah.
Fairway would be perfect. I love Fairway. It's at that right size, and I go to a Fairway all the time.
The meat.
Yeah, you could do something like that. Hy-Vee prototyped an urban concept in downtown Des Moines, Iowa a couple years ago. Not sure how well that's doing, but if it is doing well financially, that would also be perfect for downtown Omaha. I think it was in that 25,000, 30,000 range, if I remember correctly. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's still a long ways to go before this thing is done on the Civic Auditorium site, but site preparation is supposed to begin early next year.
Did you read the thing that was it 79 or when, I don't know, maybe it was 1956, big difference. Elvis, when he first played at the Civic Auditorium, it was $600 for the first show and like $275 for the second show. That's how much, that was his payment.
That's all he made?
$600.
I thought you were saying people had to pay that. I'm like, that's a lot of money in 1950s.
So tickets must have been $2 or something. Isn't that wild?
Oh,
it was probably a lot more in 1979.
Times have changed.
1977.
UNMC held a groundbreaking ceremony this week for its new innovation hub on the Saddle Creek West campus. It's going to be called Catalyst. Not really a groundbreaking because they're basically going to renovate the steel skeleton of the old Omaha Steel Works factory. But a couple little things came out about this. Looks to be about a $60-some million project. It would have 670 full-time jobs that would be in the building. And the Med Center plans on relocating its Unimed and Unitech organizations, which are the groups that basically bring academic research into marketable private business. And a nice start to the west side of the UNMC campus, which is going to go through dramatic overhauls. And now the UNMC administration tower, which was announced, I think, a couple years ago, haven't heard much lately. Originally, I believe it was supposed to start by now.
Nice renderings with the bridge over Saddle Creek.
I put an inquiry into UNMC, and they said we should hear more details about that later this summer. So we'll keep an eye out for that.
Great projects.
So the City Council has chosen Leo A. Daly for site selection and design of the combined police and fire headquarters. The city will pay Leo A. Daly $3 million for this. Presumably, the project will be in or very close to downtown Omaha. It would require a vote of the public. The plans are, if all goes well, to open this thing in 2027, which will be here before you know it. So Trenton, the police headquarters is currently between, Jackson and Howard at about 15th and 14th. And then the fire headquarters is along Jackson between 15th and 16th. So they're next door to each other. Both of them are very aged looking and underwhelming in terms of providing the space that the two departments need. Where do you think this thing goes downtown?
I think it goes close. I don't know if they could take one of them down and fit a taller building on there. But there's some response time issues, too, isn't there? I
believe so. We had a listener write to me last week that was formerly with the city and talked about 4-minute response times or what have you. And if you look at the example building that Daly submitted to the city that could convey the potential scale of this building, no offense, but it struck me as almost ridiculous. And I say this as a guy that loves tall buildings. It was like a 20-story building that looked like a condo building they're putting in Lincoln that's planned for the Lincoln area. So I don't know what the deal is. I have a hard time seeing a police and fire headquarters being more than, 5 to 10 stories. But we'll see what happens. It'll be fascinating to see where it goes. You got to keep in mind, too, that the current headquarters that they want to get rid of are prime redevelopment candidates because they're in that streetcar zone with the new streetcar line. And my hope is that you would almost not put the new police and fire headquarters in that zone because it's like you would be taking away potential private development space for government. And, the government stuff doesn't pay any property taxes. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out.
They need a good location with access to the infrastructure, but But they can't go too far away.
They can't, yeah. But time will tell. All right, a couple other news items that we want to hit upon today. Construction is underway on a Class A medical office building at 119th and West Center Road. The new building is going up on the site of a former funeral home mortuary, and got one tenant signed and apparently others to come.
Is it a dentist, do we think? I always thought that was a dentist office going up, but
it was conveyed as a medical building in social media this week. Maybe it is a dentist as the first tenant.
Yeah, we'll find
Could
out.
be. Let's see. Community Health Development Partners plans to redevelop a building that's currently used for indoor parking at 112 South 20th Street. So this is 20th and Dodge.
Very visible building.
Yeah, immediately southeast of Central High School. And the building's not even 30,000 feet. It's 3-level parking. So plans call for making the lower 2 levels health and medical office space, and then turning the rooftop, which is currently parking, into an outdoor event space. So that could be interesting. We'll keep an eye on that project.
It better have pickleball.
Who doesn't have pickleball these days? And finally,
I got a proctologist's office, but I got pickleball for the people waiting.
And finally, Kiewit Corporation will move at least 4 divisions from its current office space at 127th and I Street. Old-time Omahans would know this as the old Western Electric building. They're moving 4 divisions from that building to the PayPal campus near Interstate 80 and Giles.
Doug Kindig, the mayor of La Vista, and I, and a lot of other people are loving it. I've got 3 lots for sale available right across the street from it, or right between that and the Nebraska Multi-Sports Complex. And they can have 900 to 1,000 employees there over time. They've got a little lake there. They've got a basketball court. And as someone who's been involved for 15 to 20 years in the Southport area, I show clients there all the time. And there's some great things going up. The Smash Park's going up. There's also a lot of attention on the 32 acres next to Alamo Drafthouse Cinema, and that's the west side. So the whole area is about 237 acres, and Kiewit is a welcome addition.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a big shot in the arm for an area that's already doing very, very well. Of course, Kiewit's headquarters and Kiewit University will remain in North Downtown.
And I also have a 6,000 square foot former bank space with a drive-through with great signage on the interstate right next to Cabela's as well.
And that's your news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.